All right, so we've been through how to get most of the data. Now we're going to go through how to use that to complete the results. So first thing we do is we need to collate the data into basically these export files or CSV files that we can then, they get then put into kind of big groups, big like single Excel spreadsheets, and then from there we can use that to fill out our result sheets. So first one we're going to do is our probe data. So our basic probe data, we go back to here where we've put all our probe reads, and you can see we've got 8,000 items in here. Now what I'm going to do is turn on this down here. So this is our handy Stream Deck, which has a collection of macros that we can use to, and let me just make sure I've got that right. Okay, yeah, so we've got our little shortcuts. So this is just kind of a little thing that we can use to basically do certain things without having to go through all the long processes. So the first thing we need to do is we need to collate all of our data into from our data current folder, put it all together into one probe export spreadsheet. So what we do is where it says move old data over here, we just press that. Oh no, sorry, don't press that, sorry. Forget that, we press combine probes over here. So on the left here, push that one, then we'll get a little pop-up. And what you want to do is you will need to find the file. It should be automatically selected, but if not, you need to go to the folder where all of your probe data is stored there, which is there, and press OK, and combine all the probe files. So what this is going to do now is it's going to open up every single .ebr file, open it, and then close it. That kind of creates that little Chrome file, and then it will, once everything has been closed in the right format, it will put it all into one. So here it goes. This might take a while, so I'll just let it go. While this is happening, also, you can't really do anything on your computer, so you best just to leave it and let it run. Alright, so that's all done. Now up the top here, you can see it going archiving EBR files. So it's kind of putting them all, if we have a look over here, it's putting them all into a little folder here, and then it's creating this probe export file. So now it's compiling all the results. And once that's done, it'll give us a little bing bing. There it goes, conversion complete. So we can just press OK. And basically that means that this probe export file is ready to go. So if we were to open this, you see similar to the individual reading file that we opened, the individual RDG file. Let's see if I can find one. One of these ones is an RDG file. And we've got that here. It's just a single line with all the data in it. Here we've got everything collated into one Excel document, and that includes these EBR files. So the reason it took so long was each time you open one of these EBR files, if I sort by name, you see it opens up a corresponding Chrome HTML file, and then what it does is the basically what we just did was run a Python script, and it opens each one up. When it opens, it creates this Chrome HTML document, and then it uses these HTML documents to collate into this spreadsheet where we've got all of our reads. How many we've got? If I go all the way to the bottom, 5,733. And if you remember, before we had 10,000 items in this folder. So it's opened up every single EBR file and created a HTML file from it. So that's the first thing we do. So now we have all of our probe files sorted. Okay. Now, when we have some new data come in, let's say Alan does a day of work, and we need to get, the 4th, and we need to add, all of the new data that he has. The first thing we need to do in this data current file is delete these two, because if I run our macro again over here on our bottom right corner, our little combine probes macro again, it will create a probe export in brackets 1, and we don't want that. We just want probe export like this. So what I do is I highlight both, shift delete, and I just permanently delete just those two. Okay. Once those two are deleted, I'll put the new data in from Alan or John or whoever. Then I go back to my Stream Deck and I push combine probes. And I want to combine all the probe files in data current. And you see we don't need to open and close any of the files. Everything's already there. It's already been opened up, so it doesn't take as long. All it needs to do is archive and compile all of the results. Like that. Boom. Done. So once we've got that, that's great. We've got all of our profiles. The next thing we need is our app sheet data. So everything that's been manually read. So here Alan's done. He's probed all of these load profiles. Green Highway, she wasn't able to get into that. Albany Creek, for example. Jonathan in Queensland, he's gotten all of this. He's gotten some photos as well, but that's all right. We'll just go through that. So to do that, what we need to do is up here where it says sites read, there's an option to download the CSV. Now, before we do that, we need to go into our downloads folder, because what will happen is, and it should be set to default, anything you download from Chrome goes straight into the downloads folder. So I already have a read sheet sites read CSV in here. Now, because we only want one file like that, we need to delete this one. So I'll just show you what happens. For example, if I do it again, if I download it now, already having that CSV in there, let's wait until the top. This is downloads, so you can see it's done. You see we've got a little bracket 1 here. We don't want that. If I refresh this, see we've got both. Now we've got a plain one and a bracket 1. So we need to delete these permanently, or just normally, whatever, and then download the CSV. Yep, so that should be right. Now if I refresh, we'll have our CSV document. Cool, so that's all we need from AppSheet. Got that, that's it, easy. Now if I go over to here, to the left, and we have our have data, everything is grouped into the data source that we need. So this should be kept up to date, so we know what our source of data is that we need. So our probed section, that will be our in our data current folder, the probe export files that we put together. Probed and app sheet, so that will be this one here, and then of course our app sheet data that we just downloaded. The Excel ones, now with that, I will just open that when I'm doing it. Don't need to open them all at once. Paper read sheets, same thing. As you're doing the site, you want to go in and just open the paper read sheets that someone sent you. So usually it will be Alan, because he likes working off paper. Although Defo South Wharf now, that needs to change. That needs to be app sheet now. So I'll just update that. So you can change that here. So we've moved that onto app sheet. Essendon Fields is paper. Lynbrook, that is now app sheet as well. All of Tanya's has been moved onto app sheet. Marriott Waters, that is also app sheet. So it's usually just Alan's stuff that you'll get that for. And then down here we've got, this is 100% app sheet, so we're all set here. And these ones are Excel, so we'll just do them when they come to it. Caribbean Park, all interval data. We can explain that, although I think I sent that one. But I'll go through it anyway. So we'll one of each. But here is the more complicated one, the m cubed one. So m cubed, before how I was saying, we've got two different types of probe files. So we've got our EBR and we've got our RDG. So the reason we have different file formats is because we use different types of meters. So one is called a EDMI meter. It's a company, EDMI, they make the meters. They're typically, the file output is typically these RDG files. Then we have the Landis and Gear meters, which output these EBR files. So you can see we've kind of got these two main ones here. These are interval data reads, which I'll explain later. But these are our main two. The third type of meter that we get reads from are secure meters, and these use a different program called m cubed. And so what we have to do, if we sort by name, if you remember, there are a lot of folders here where we had folders. Inside these folders are .emd files. These are m cubed files. So we need a different process entirely to get this data out. So what I do usually is I'll sort by name, because that will put all the folders to the top. And you can get them you can either put them all into this data current file and then move them, or you can get them individually from each person's one. But there's only specific sites that use these ones. So what we need to do is when you get these, we copy these folders, then we go back out to embedded, and in m cubed data, I'll usually just get rid of everything in here, and I'll paste all of these folders into here. So now that's copied over into our m cubed data folder. What we need to do is down the bottom here, we'll open up m cubed, the actual program. And I'll just put in all up here. So along the top here, we click on utilities and we go to export manager. And this will open up another window, this window here. And then what we need to do is drop down here, we said profiles and we want billing reads. So it's going to populate that list. And once that's all populated, we just press start. And I'm going to move this over to the side and let it run. Then we can leave that for now. So the m cubed data, you have to have the m cubed program. So it can be done locally on one of the readers' tablets, actually, if for some reason you can't do it on your computer. But they only have a certain amount of licenses that they give us each year. So there's one on my computer that I use. So if it is on a single computer and the supervisor of that computer is going to be away, you'll need to make sure that you have access to it, or you'll have to show one of the guys in the field how to do it, or have access to their tablet remotely. You could always do that. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. All right, so the export process is done. Now what we can do is in our folder down here with mcubed data, we go back out, and in mcubed results, we go to probe files, and we can see a nice little probe export folder here. And so if we open that, we can see we've got all of our meters in here ready to go. So we can only open, because this one is named probe export and the other profile file is named probe export, we can only do one at a time. So what we can do is, well, we can just start doing now. So what I'll do is, I'll probably do one of each group, and then get that out of the way, and then we'll go through a bunch of them. So we'll start off with the M cube stuff. So we'll do Eat and Rise first. So this I can get rid of. So Eat and Rise, we need M cube data, we need our probe data, and we need a paper read sheets. Oh, sorry, no, we don't need that anymore because that is now app sheet. So app sheet. Waverley Gardens is also app sheet, so we'll fix that. What else is app sheet? Anything else? No, not for now. I think that's it. Cool. So that's handy. Yeah. So first one we'll open is our probe export data from M cubed. Okay. So we open that up. Then what we want to do is, if we bring our little stream deck back, there's a little shortcut here. Now there's two ways. We'll do it the manual way first. So in our files down here, OneDrive Personal, if you go into the OneDrive Personal folder, you need to open the 3060 embedded, and down the bottom here we'll have personal macros. Now we need to open this one up because this has all of our macros that let us add, delete, take lots of shortcuts to kind of get them in. So we'll add that, and we'll put that down on the bottom right here. And then we'll just stick with those for now. So I'll move this down to the bottom so it's out of the way, and this probe export one, I'll put this down to the bottom as well, so I've got a little room. I can minimize this, and what I like to do is I like to go into here, and we'll find Eat and Rise electricity. So what we'll probably do is I like to do all of while we've got the M cubed data open, I like to do all of our M cube ones first, and then I don't need to reopen it again because typically there's only a few that are M cubed. So we'll start off with Eat and Rise. So we'll go Eat and Rise Village Electricity. Yep, cool. All right, so we'll open that and we'll fill that screen with this. Just adjust this. Yeah, all right, so this here is the result sheet. So what we have is we'll go one by one. So read order, so the order the reads are in. This can be random or usually in the order it's read in. Meter ID, so just the meter number. Meter serial, so another identifier. Electricity meters might have two signifiers. So like this one will have a meter ID and a meter serial number. And then down here, the tenancy, so the shop usually, or the unit that it is a meter is assigned to. Then we have total, peak, shoulder 1, off peak, shoulder 2, export, max demand, and read date. Then over here we've got our variance, which kind of gives us an idea of how much it's changed, how much the read has changed from previous cycles. If you double click, you can see kind of like a little bit of a formula showing how it's done, if you want to look into that. But basically it just tells you how much more or less the current read, total read is from previous months. Here we've got the billing probe, so you can just ignore this one. Comments, any comments in here, so if a meter was skipped or it's faulty or it's replaced, you can put that in there. And then this is the usage, so the usage for the month compared to the previous month. So if I can move across, here's same as the current month, the previous month, and then I move across again, previous month too. So in total we've got, zoom out a bit, we've got current month, the last month, and then one before. This one specifically has a note saying take reads for end of month, the last day of the month. So we'll take the end of month reads. If you recall, we can take current or we can take end of month. Yeah, so then we've got, yeah, that's about it. So to do the results, what we need to do is we need to kind of make if I zoom out a bit, we need to make sure that we have one more in. We need to clear out this one, but we need to kind of move everything across one. So these current month ones need to be in our previous month, and these previous month ones need to be in previous month 2. And then previous month 2 can just go away. So you can do that manually, or thanks to our little Stream Deck thingy here, over here, this button here, move old data, making sure that you've got your personal macros Excel document open in here. I'll move you back. Down here we press move old data, and you'll see everything quickly got copied across from there to there and there to there. See, this date is now the 11th if you look at the dates. And so now this one is clear. We can start putting the reads into this one. Okay, so I'll zoom in again. That should be fine. Now you want to make sure that you have this, the cell selected is the total read, preferably on the top one. And then on here you have a few different options you can choose on your Stream Deck. So you can go with AppSheet is up the top, M cubed is in the middle, and then the ones on the bottom are all the probe files, the normal probe files. These ones have end of month, as we have that option. Same with M cubed. AppSheet we don't, but that's fine, we don't need that. So because we're doing the M cubed stuff first, we're going to go, I like to do M cubed with Eden Rise. Usually it's red on the first or second day of the month. So what I will do is I will put M cubed current. And what that's going to do is that's going to run a VLOOKUP. So what the VLOOKUP does is, if I double click on it, it will, there's 4 parts of VLOOKUP. It will look for the value in the meter ID column. So in this case, for the row, it's this one. So it will look for this value in the table array that we choose. And that table array is probe export. So our probe export document down here. So basically it's looking for RW021828 in our document here. So if let's search for that, RW21828. If I look for it, there it is right there. Boom, this one. And as you can see, it's taken basically these values from here and put them into here. Now, the reason we use the Stream Deck is because it will pick the correct register to put into the, from here into the correct column in our document. So for example, the total, we need the total value, and it knows that the second column in our table array that we've selected is the one that goes in here. For this one, it's the 4th. So for example, if we have a look at this value, so 1, 2, 3, 4, this value. Here, it's asking for the 6th value. So, well, this one, sorry, 5th goes here, 6th goes here. And these ones just enter 0, and then our max demand, which is 16. So it will do that automatically. It also grabs the date, the current date. So it will do that automatically from here. Now, what I would typically do, I like to do, M-Cube is kind of funny with the reads. Sometimes when you do current, we're supposed to grab the EOM read, but sometimes for some reason, it will give you a read that is so far away. So if I put in on our Stream Deck, if I press MQDOM, let's see what happens. Hopefully it gives it. Sometimes it'll give a value that is so far off from the previous one, you can't use it. So what I'm going to do, sorry, it's too far ahead. I highlight the whole thing, and then in this, where that little dot is on the bottom right, I'll click, hold, and drag all the way down to the bottom. And you can see several of these have been filled in, but then we have a bunch that aren't. So it's filled in all of the ones with an M-cubed value in it. So what I'm going to do, I'll click on this and I'll filter out anything with an NA. Oh, sorry, I'll filter. What do I want to do? Yeah, I want to filter out anything with NA. And what I'll do is we'll change the date. So we need to make sure it's the last day of the month. So 31st of this 12th, 2024. And I'll hold control and I'll copy this down. And we can see that some of these are very big. Again, this could be normal. To me, this looks okay. We can see the variance is very high. It's supposed to be within 50 each way. If it's not, it will show up as red. But yeah, it does look a bit high. So let's test. Let's just put in m cubed current just for this row and see if it's kind of similar or the same. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, and we can see it's still 240. And if I copy that down, 431. So yeah, we can see that it's still pretty high. So this is probably the correct read to put in. Also notice that this little 4, it's vanished. So over here we've got these shoulder values that are automatically filled in. It looks like they never change for Eat and Rise specifically, but it only seems to put them in when we ask it to. When we do the it only seems to put them in when we do the end of month read. So what we'll do is, to save us on that, we'll just do the end of month read because I'm pretty sure this is all correct. Copy it down, and looking good. This one, -100 in usage. My guess is that is because you see how we go for over here. We've got 994078, and then here it's clocked back over, so it's kind of gone back around. The meter register's rolled over, so this is okay. And you'll see this a lot when it's -100. It's something in the previous month has rolled over. So we've got all that. Let's select all so we can see all of our data. But we can see here that all of these values, they're not the actual values in the cell. It's a formula still. So we need to get rid of that formula. So what I'll do is I'll go all the way across to read date. Do not copy the variance. Do not copy the variance. Only from total to read date. Scroll all the way down. And then you can right click and copy. And right click, and you want to paste values. So what that will do is that will just paste the number that is in that cell. Paste values. And then we can see now that the formula up here is gone and it's been replaced by the actual read. Okay. Once you've got that, we've done our M-cube stuff. So I'll keep this up because what we'll do all of our M-cube sites. We'll move it to the side, so we'll just kind of move it out of the way, and we'll do another one. So we'll do Waverley Gardens. So what I'll do is I'll open up all of these and I'll do them again. Waverley Gardens, Willow, Park and Marque, and Society. Now Society, they want us to name it Lend Lease for some reason. So I hold Control, click these, and I press Enter, and that'll open them all up. So again, we're just going to do all of our M-cube reads for now. Now, Waverley Gardens. What do we do for the Waverley Gardens? So again, we start off with down here at our stream deck, move all data, click in our total, and then we want, we'll try M-cubed EOM because it's Waverley Gardens is done after the 1st of the month. So we'll see what happens. Oh, hello. And we get all zeros. So this is what I mean by sometimes if I copy this all the way down, these values are weird. Why are you like this? Why can't you be normal? So again, we can use these EOM values, or we can use our current ones. So because we have so many issues for Waverley Gardens specifically, I'll just use the current ones, and then that'll make it a bit easier. So we'll do this, we'll copy this across, copy it all the way down like before. A lot of NAs, but as you can see now at the top, all those red ones are gone. So this seems to be in line. And you can see all our variances as well. They look really nice. No red ones here. Everything seems fine. So again, first thing we need to do, we've still got our formula. Copy across to read date, copy it all the way down to the bottom. Copy, paste values. And I press escape to get rid of that, the copy outline. Cool, so that's Waverley Gardens MQ data done. So we'll move that out of the way. And we'll do Willow Park. Again, back to our stream deck. Move all data, boom. And then now Waverley Gardens specifically, Willow Park and Marque, Alan Frost usually does this before the end of the month, so on like between the 25th and the 31st. So these ones we pretty much always do M cubed current. Let's copy it across. And what you can do, you don't necessarily have to drag. Sometimes, if nothing's filtered, so we've got no filter on over here, and you can see that if you go up to data here, and you can see there's no filter that we need to clear. If you copy across, and there's nothing else, make sure that this is completely empty. All of these are completely empty, okay? All of these cells here, everything's empty. If you highlight across, you can double click, and that will paste everything all the way down to the bottom, like that. Now we've got all of our stuff here. So I'll just undo that. So what I like to do, copy across, double click, right click, copy, right click, paste values. You can press enter or escape again. Now we've got all of this. Oh, here's one that has an NA. Now there's a few that have NAs, because if we look at our little thingy here, we can see that we need our Excel document data as well. So we'll do that later. So that's the Willow Park. Oh, did we remember to copy? Yes, we did. So we'll move that over here. Last one, society. Now society, if you're worried about what date, you can always check and see when it was done. Then you know if to use current or EOM data. Again, same thing as before. Move all data. That gets rid of it. Make sure you're in that square and press M cubed current. So society is always done after the first. Alan Cooney does that. He does that pretty reliably. And we've got all of these. All the way down. And I'm not sure why these are yellow. I think there's a formula in there that's causing this. But as long as they add up to the total, you know you're right. So again, make sure everything copy, paste, and that's done there. So we're pretty good here. All right. So that's all of the M cube stuff done. So we've put our M cube stuff in that we need. Now we can close our M cubed probe export file, and we can go into our normal probe files, which is our, our blue probed data, and we can start filling in some of this probe export, and we'll start doing the app sheet stuff as well. So we've got our probe export stuff. We'll just move this down a little bit down to here. And let's go back to Eden Rise. If we can get Eden Rise over here. So Eden Rise, we have a whole bunch of these. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to filter so that all of these NAs are showing. So we unselect all, go down and select NAs. And then we just delete everything over to the read date and just delete that, okay? Now this time what we'll do, as we saw before, we need to get the probe data and the app sheet data. Now you can do it in any order you want. I'm going to do the probe data. So along the bottom of our stream deck, we have our different options. And you're probably wondering, what does it mean, meter ID and serial on our top and bottom rows? So basically what that's going to do is that's going to tell the formula that we write which cell to get the information from. Which cell do you want to look up? To then reference our probe export file in this table. So when we have one like Eden Rise, and I have a value in meter ID, so let's say line one in here and nothing in meter serial, obviously we need to use the meter ID. So I'll go to the meter ID, and again, we'll do EOM, because it was done after the first, so we can take, I think this was done on the second, so we can take the EOM data. So we'll press that. And we can copy that across, and remember that it's filtered. So it's when you filter it, you could Control C and do Control V, but I'm not sure if that affects the cells in between where we've got like the hidden ones, because we've already got it filtered. So what I like to do, I know that this does not affect it. Highlight that top row that you've just done, and then click and drag, and that make sure that, see here when we do this, like it's on the line, that green line kind of disappears. Make sure you're over the cell and you can see the bottom of that line here. So we go like that, and then we'll let go. Ooh, see, now again, we've used EOM data and it has had a conniption. There's a whole lot of zeros here. What the heck is going on? So I'm gonna retcon that, delete, and we're gonna do it again. We're going to use meter ID again because there's a value in here, but we're going to use current instead. Now I'm going to highlight that and drag it down, and boom, look at that. Beautiful. All of our data's in here. Now, because we're already filtered, if you try to copy, you can see how you got all these where the data's filtered. If you try to paste values, it will not like it. You can't do it because the copy and paste area aren't the same size. So escape, we'll make sure we unfilter everything. So you can do that through there, or you can go up to data and press clear. Unfilter everything, cover over everything, copy, paste values over everything. Okay. Then you can refilter it under NA. So you have a look at NA. Now we've got these ones where we don't have any data. Now, a lot of these where we didn't have the data, you're probably wondering, well, this is probably all in AppSheet, right? Well, have a look. We've got another value in the serial that's different. So what we're actually using to fill in these ones, these meters, is most likely the meter serial rather than the meter ID. So down the bottom here on our stream deck, you can see we've got meter ID we've already used, and instead we're going to use meter serial, and we're going to use current because we used current last time. So it's going to write that VLOOKUP, and lo and behold, there's the data. Boom, 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 boom. So we're going to click and drag again, and now even better. Now I'm not going to bother copying and pasting. I'm just going to do that at the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reapply, because if you recall, our filter only filters out the NAs. So it's already still set up. So I'm just going to go reapply. And we have 2 remaining. Now you can usually tell if we need to fill these in because there'll be notes. So we've got replace with the remote meter and remote SAM meter. And you can tell from if we've actually got reads in the past, if we need them, usually. You can see here we don't have any reads here, so if that's the case, we probably haven't gotten it. And it says that it's replaced with a remote meter, so we don't need the read for them. This one though, we do have reads for, even though it is a remote SAM meter. So what we'll do, this is probably an AppSheet read. So I'll click here, and along the top here we've got meter ID AppSheet, serial AppSheet, and again the meter ID versus serial denotes which cell we're going to look up. So again, we've got something in the meter ID, so we'll use the meter ID and AppSheet here. So we'll press that. Oh, what happened here? Well, it's tried to put the formula in, but this has popped up because it can't find this spreadsheet. Where is this spreadsheet? Don't know it. The reason this pops up is because we haven't got our spreadsheet opened. So if I go cancel, you can see it doesn't know where to look because it doesn't have this spreadsheet. So if I look in my Excel documents that we've got open, we've got personal macros, Eden Rise, Society, Willow Park, Waverley, we don't have our read sheet, app sheet file open. So we open up our downloads, open the read sheet from here. Boom. Now it's open. Let's move that down here. And ta-da, like magic, this is filled in. Look at that. Beautiful. So I'm going to run that again, and you can see now it fills out perfectly. And that's it. And so if I reapply, I like to usually check if there's a 0 one, just see what that is. Okay, that's all right. So the previous ones you can see are 0, the previous reads. So we've got every single read except for the one that we don't, which is a remote meter, which we don't need. So we're all good. So we are almost ready to send it. Now we just need to clean it up a bit. We do a little housekeeping. So first thing, we need to make sure, number one thing, make sure everything is a value and not a formula. So highlight everything. I like to right-click C or right-click copy and then paste the values. That should turn everything into a nice little value. Now you'll notice here, this one, T blocking read general operation failed. What the is that? What we can do is, well, we can look this up. So if we copy this meter number and we go into our probe export document, let's see if we can find what this one is. Boom, boom. Oh, sorry. Here it is. This one. So you can see this is the meter number that we got it from. And in this section, and there's a few of them, T blocking, read operation general failed. What this means is that when we tried to probe it, it didn't want to take that register. And it just kind of has an error. And again, this is fine. This will happen every month. It's completely normal. Sometimes you'll just have them where you can see here, sometimes the reads are, all the registers are filled in, like here. Every single one is filled in. Sometimes you'll have it where it's the total and the peak are exactly the same. And then you have these. That's totally fine too. Sometimes you'll have it where you have 1, 2, 3. You have total, peak, off peak, all next to each other. That's fine. And then sometimes, if I can find one, here we go. Total, peak, 0, and off peak. So they're all kind of, sometimes it just kind of comes out weird. That's all right. That's perfectly normal. But basically, when you see this, all this means is put a 0 in there. Just chuck in a 0 and you'll be fine. Now, once we've copied that, we've got all our zeros. We have a look at these. Remember, these are a bit high, but we sorted that out. That's just the way it is. 100.72, again, rolled over. 100%. You can see here that is 0 usage. So it will just kind of spit it out as a 0 usage on the meter. It means the shop's probably vacant or something. Maybe they're closed for the entirety of December. Who knows? So I've got that. Last thing we need to do is the date. Now, some clients like you to have the read date exactly when the date we read it. Some of them like it the end of month date. It depends on the client. For these guys want us to make it the end of the month, and there's usually a little note. So Edenrise specifically has a note that says the end of month date. So we've taken the end of month read. We need to put, they want the last date of the month that was read. So we just, what I like to do is I'll get, if it's different, make sure it's, the last day of the month, and then just kind of click, hold control and drag like that. Or if you're not worried you're not going to do it right, I usually take 2 of them, because then it's basically Excel knows that you want just this date, and you click and drag, and then you have all of that correct. And that's it. So Edenrise is done, I think. So we just cover everything here, right click, copy. I like to do this one more time just to make sure we're right. And save it. And that's it. So now I can close Edenrise, and over here, we've got Edenrise electricity. I will scroll across to this one. It says actual read date. And in this section, let's just expand this so I can see it a bit better. Yep, over here, actual read date. I'll double click on that. And because it's an end of month one, I'll usually just put like the 1st, or put the 31st of the 12th. That's fine too. and then it gets moved over to here into ready to email, and it's ready to email. And that's that. All right, now let's do a different one. We'll do Waverley Gardens this time. Now we had issues with that before, so again, I'm just going to go through these kind of quickly. We're going to get all our NA ones, delete those. Now with Waverley Gardens, remember it was probed and app sheet, so just expand that to put that here. Again, see a few M-cubed ones missing here. That's all right, because we can see can't open the padlock and they're removed. So we'll start it here, why don't we? Because these ones are M-cubed, so we've already got them. We'll put meter ID. Copy that down. Okay, that's good. I'm not going to copy paste yet. I'm just going to clear this out. Now I'm going to go use, there's nothing in serial, so that's empty. So we'll just do app sheet and we'll do meter ID. Copy that down. Here we go. Couple added. Boom. Alright, so there's a 0 here. So a 0 on app sheet usually means that there's a skip reason or a note, and I can see that there's something, but I can't see the whole thing because the formula's there. So what we'll do is we'll clear out all the NAs, and we'll just make sure that we didn't get reads. So you can see we've cleared out all the NAs, and we never get reads for these, so that's fine. So we don't need to worry about those. Now we'll just see what the zeros are. Oh, sorry, no, I want to do my copy paste values. Control C, Control Shift V. There's a little shortcut. I do Control C. So when I've got everything highlighted, I go Control C, and then I go Control Shift V, and that will paste values. That's a little quicker way to do it, if need be. What happened here? We're missing one. All right, let me have a look at what's blank. Okay, we're missing this one. So what I'll do, okay, one thing at a time. Let's look at this first. What this is. Tenants don't know where meter is, not where notes indicate. Vacant. All right, so I'm gonna have to follow that up with Tanya. Tenants don't know where meter is, so I'll have to double check what the tenancy is. So I'll have to call her about that one. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to send her a quick email. Alright, I'll follow that up later. For now, this one. Alright, so let's have a look at, we'll go into app sheet and we'll look for Waverley Gardens and we'll find this meter number and see which one it is. Well, actually, we'll have a look at both of those. Waverley Gardens. Control F 810. Control F 1810. Well, that one was just it was missed, but probably. Oh, there we go. That's why. For some reason that didn't go in. Closed, opening. So there was closed and opening, well, tomorrow for me. So, and she left a little photo as well. Closed for the holidays. So we'll just have to put closed for the holidays. I wonder why that didn't come through. Oh, do you know why? Because I didn't do it in app sheet. So if I do this, watch this. Ta-da! Now we have values. That's why it's a good idea to do all of them and not listen to what I said before. Closed, opening 6th. So that's fine. Closed for the holidays. Hopefully that's how you spell it. Tends to know where meter is. So we'll copy this one and we'll go back into our little app sheet thingy. And we'll Control F, Control V. Next to Baker's Delight. So this one we had issues with last time. So I'll probably have to investigate that. Tends to know where meter is. No one knows where the meter is. Unable to, what we'll do, unable to locate. Because I've been there twice, and I remember that meter, but I think it might have been removed when they refitted the shop, as it was vacant. So we'll see how we go with that. But yeah, that should be fine. This one closed. So again, if we look and we look at our blanks, the only one missing is this one, and the one unable to locate, and the client will let us know if they want us to investigate this further. So let's go all of them. Copy, paste. I think they want us end of month. Yep, take reads for the end of the month. So again, because it was close enough to the end of the month, I'm just going to change the date to the end of the month, and we'll copy that down. And hello you. You can see these little brackets. Highlight them. I pressed 0 and Control Enter, and that filled in all of these cells. So yeah, now let's have a look through if there's anything. Hello you. So you can see that these are yellow and these are red. That is because in here, if you recall me looking at this sheet here, sometimes total peak, off peak are all next to each other. Sometimes total peak, blank, off peak, they're not. So these ones, they're in the wrong spot. So all we need to do is highlight anything that is in the wrong one, copy, and paste, and make this 0. Boom. Have a look for these yellow ones. That's fine. They're 0.1, 0.2. That's fine. Same thing here. It's in the wrong column. Right click C, right click V. That does the same thing. And that's it. I think that looks good. Last thing I should do is I'll usually just show everything and not the blanks. Because sometimes from the previous month we have ones where we need to fix up these comments. So like here where it was vacant last month, but it's not vacant this month, so I'll just delete that. Cool, that's it. So we clear the filter and save, and that one's done. 31st, yep, all good. So that one we can do, that one is done. 31st. All right, let's do society now. Society paper, now it was paper read sheets, but also because I've been updating these in our app sheet. So let's bring society over here. So again, clear out the old ones, move old data. Ba-boom. Oh wait, no, we already did that. Oh, I made a boo-boo. Made a boo-boo. No, I do not. So I'm going to close. I do not. Because when you do use a macro, it doesn't let you undo it. So close this, don't save. And then we're going to go back into our results and reopen it. Actually, this one we don't do anymore, so I can get rid of that. Society. So check the date. Again, clear it out. And it was M cubed. So now I've got to close this. Open our M cubed data. Open our M cubed results. Leave that there. M cubed current. All right, copy that down. Copy, paste. Find all our NAs. Yep, 3, that checks out. And then we should be able to use app sheet and a meter ID. So, because it's in the meter ID here. And that should start filling in. There we go. Copy that across, pull that down. Boom, we've got it. Again, we can't copy and paste because it's not the same area. So that's all good. Move that over here. Copy, paste values, and everything should be fine. Although we will note that when we put the dates in for the probe files, it's in the correct format. Any dates for the app sheet files, you'll have to change yourself because it timestamps it as well. So what I usually do is I just do a quick, or you're safer to just click hold and drag it down to the bottom like that. Now this should all be okay. That's pretty high, but again, this is all probe data, so like you can see the usage is pretty low, 34. It's probably because last time, where are we here? This one, 28260, 28260. So it's only used 0.5 usage that month, and now it's used 34, which is why this is so high. This is even higher. So, but again, this is okay because it's all probe data. You'll know if something's wrong because it'll be something in here will be off, but you just have a little quick scan through, and you can have a quick scan through here and make sure everything's okay, and it is kosher. So that's all done. Society is done. Society, that was done on the third. Sorry, the third. Let's move you over here. All right, last one for M cubed. Willow Park, where are you? Willow Park, here. Boom. So, don't do what I did and move it over again. We want to show our NAs across to the read date, not the variance. Please keep that for the love of God. And with Willow Park, we need Excel OneDrive. So in our Outlook here, we can see we've got all of our people. Alan Frost does Willow Park and Marque, and he has sent this in the eucalyptus stuff. So we're just going to copy, double click and open it. And he's got all this, but he hasn't sent me any reads. Where are all the reads? What's he done? Oh no, I think he sent me the wrong one. So all of that data is missing. That's not good. I'm gonna have to email him immediately, even though it is midnight. I can probably schedule it though. So I'll show you this just as a thing. Oh, actually, what I'll do, I'll use this one and I'll email and I'll reply all. So I'll just send it to him. Hey mate, the face reads for Willow Park Marque are empty. Could you please resend ASAP? Thanks. And I'll schedule it because I'm lovely. Most people don't like getting emails that time, but he plays golf, so he's usually up early, I think. And we'll send that. Cool. So that's sorted. So he'll get that tomorrow. So that one we're just going to have to leave because we don't have all of the data. So what we'll do is we'll open it up. We'll leave the filter on as it is. Save it, close it. And then over here in our schedule thingy, we can add a tag that says missing face read. So we've got a few tags, missing probes. You can add your own blah, 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 blah. But I'm just going to put missing face reads in. And then we know that there's, it's just a reminder as to why. Yeah, so that is all of our MCube stuff that we have done finished. What I'll do, I'll end this video here. And then, because we can't get that one, in the next video, we'll basically get through all of the rest of these, as long as we have time, and sort these out. They should be a bit quicker because we're only using a couple of different spots. But yeah, we'll stop it here and continue on in the next one.